You wake up, and before your eyes even open, you already know what's waiting. The stretch, the stiffness, the same familiar feeling in your body that greets you each morning like an uninvited guest. You roll out of bed, your feet hit the floor, and your routine begins. The coffee pot is ready, maybe a couple slices of toast with butter, perhaps a little jam, the same breakfast you've had for decades. It's comforting in its familiarity, and yet, something is different. You sit, you sip, you chew, but beneath the rhythm of it all, there's a quiet awareness. A sense that the energy that once surged through you in the morning, that automatic readiness for the day, has faded into something distant. You try not to focus on it, but the truth presses in. It's not just your joints or your memory that feels slower, it's a part of yourself that once defined you as a man. A part that carried confidence, vitality, and strength. And now, too often, it feels like a shadow. Before I continue, if you've ever felt this shift, if you've noticed that something isn't quite the same when you wake up, if you've wondered where that natural spark of energy and masculinity has gone, then you're in the right place. This video is about more than food or fitness. It's about restoring what time and routine may have stolen away. So if you're new here, I invite you to subscribe right now. Together we uncover the real roots of male vitality, the truths that doctors rarely discuss openly, and the natural ways to rebuild confidence from the inside out. Subscribe, hit the notification bell, and let's walk this path back to strength, clarity, and energy together. Now, let's return to that quiet truth, the one so many men over 60 wake up with but rarely speak about. For thousands of men, this isn't just an occasional frustration, it's a daily reality. And after years of studying male health, vitality, and aging, I can tell you that the culprit isn't simply the number of birthdays you've celebrated. It's not just age. The deeper truth is circulation. Specifically, the intimate circulation in the pelvic region, where blood vessels are smaller, more delicate, and far more sensitive to the food you eat than most men ever imagine. Think about this. We're taught to believe that growing older automatically means losing strength, losing energy, and losing the spark of intimacy. But what if that isn't the full story? What if fading vitality isn't an irreversible life sentence, but instead the direct result of choices repeated over decades, choices that narrow and weaken the very vessels that carry life itself? To understand how this works, imagine the body's blood vessels when you're young. They're like fresh, flexible rubber bands. They expand, they contract, they allow blood to surge wherever it's needed, whether it's to your muscles when you're running, to your brain when you're thinking, or to your most private areas when intimacy calls. But years of processed foods, sugary breakfasts, and inflammation act like slow poison. Over time, those vessels lose their spring. They stiffen, they narrow, they become brittle. Instead of acting like flexible bands, they turn into something more like old, cracking rubber that resists expansion. And here's the key. The pelvic region has one of the densest networks of microvessels in your entire body. These tiny blood vessels, thinner than a strand of hair, are the very first to suffer when circulation declines. They are the first to get blocked, the first to lose their responsiveness, and the first to stop delivering the energy and confidence you once took for granted. I once worked with a man in his late 70s. He looked at me with tired eyes and said, "I feel like a shadow of the man I used to be. I don't smoke, I try to eat well, but my confidence, it's just gone." When I asked about his habits, his breakfast was the same every day: processed cheese on toast, and a mug of black coffee, a ritual carried on since he was a teenager. What he didn't realize was that his body wasn't broken, it was blocked. Blocked by years of small, daily choices that slowly constricted his blood flow. Every bite, every morning, his breakfast was quietly building walls inside his arteries, walls that starved a vital part of his body of the very thing it needed most: circulation. And this isn't just about intimacy. Experts now agree that erectile dysfunction is one of the body's earliest warning systems. It's not simply a personal frustration, it's a red flag for deeper cardiovascular problems. Consider this: the penile artery is only about 1 to 2 millimeters wide, the size of a toothpick. Compare that to the arteries leading to your heart, which are 3 or 4 times larger. That means circulation problems appear in the pelvic region first. What starts as a loss of firmness or morning vitality could be the very first sign of heart disease waiting down the road. But here's the encouraging part. Once you understand that the problem isn't just age, you gain power. Because circulation can be restored, vessels can be nourished, inflammation can be reduced, and blood flow can return, even in your 60s, 70s, and beyond. The key lies in nitric oxide, a molecule your body produces naturally. It's the signal that tells blood vessels to relax and open, to allow blood to flow freely into muscles, into organs, and yes, into the pelvic region when needed most. When nitric oxide is abundant, you feel alive, responsive, and strong. When it's lacking, you feel stiff, sluggish, and disconnected from your own body. Here's the shocking truth. Decades of the wrong breakfast starve your body of the raw materials it needs to produce nitric oxide. Worse, the inflammation from those meals actively suppresses it. White bread, processed cheese, bacon, butter, pastries, these may taste familiar, but they are, quite literally, working against your vitality. The good news is that the solution doesn't require risky pills or artificial chemicals. You don't have to force your body with shortcuts. You can restore the natural system itself, from the ground up, by feeding your blood vessels the nutrients they've been missing for decades. Let me tell you about Henry. Henry was 69, with slumped shoulders and a sadness that seemed to hang around him like a shadow. He confessed that he avoided intimacy because he feared disappointing his wife. For 40 years, his breakfast was coffee and a pastry. I asked him to make a change, just one change. Replace his breakfast with a circulation-restoring meal. In the first week, he missed the sugar rush. By the second week, he noticed he didn't need that extra cup of coffee. By the third, he felt a warmth in his legs as he woke. And when his wife hugged him in the kitchen, he didn't shrink away. He hugged her back with presence, with strength. His words were unforgettable. It was like coming home to a part of myself I thought was gone forever. That wasn't magic, that was biochemistry, that was blood returning where it was needed, because his body finally had the right fuel. Imagine the difference in your own life if each morning became a step toward restoration instead of decline.
Imagine knowing that your body is still capable, still responsive, still ready to rise to the occasion, not through chemicals, but through the natural power of your own circulation. So what does this restorative breakfast look like? It's warm, not cold. Because warm food relaxes the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest system that allows for proper blood flow. It's rich in soluble fiber like oats, which lower bad cholesterol and literally scrub plaque from artery walls. It's enhanced with cacao, which floods your system with flavonoids that supercharge nitric oxide production. It's sprinkled with pumpkin seeds, packed with zinc and magnesium to support hormones and relax blood vessels. It's topped with berries, bursting with anthocyanins to fight inflammation and restore flexibility to your arteries. And it's paired with a warm cup of hibiscus tea and lemon, a natural relaxant for your vascular system and a cleanser for your digestion. Put it all together and you don't just have breakfast. You have a prescription for circulation. A daily invitation for your body to return to strength. A ritual that rebuilds you, day after day. Now, I know some of you are asking, that's great for the long term, but what about tonight? What if I want to feel a difference sooner? That's where I need to share something special with you. I've come across a simple, natural home remedy that takes only 7 seconds to prepare. It's designed to supercharge nitric oxide production almost immediately, helping you restore firmness on command without dangerous pills or chemicals. To see exactly how it works, just scan the QR code on your screen or use the pinned link in the top comment. Watch the short video, it could change your life tonight.
But whether you try that or not, I want you to remember this, your body hasn't given up. Your vitality hasn't disappeared, it's waiting, dormant, ready to be awakened by the right invitation. The power to restore it doesn't lie in a pharmacy. It lies in your kitchen. It lies in the choices you make each morning. I've seen men in their 70s, even their 80s, reclaim the spark they thought was gone. I've seen relationships rekindled, confidence reborn, and a new light appear in eyes that had grown dim. All because they chose to nourish their circulation instead of starving it. You don't have to chase performance with desperation. You can invite it back with gentleness, with consistency, with respect for the man you've become. So tomorrow morning, when you reach for your breakfast, ask yourself, am I building walls inside my arteries, or am I clearing the path for blood to flow? Am I feeding decline, or am I feeding vitality? The choice is yours, and every choice adds up.
If you've watched this far, I know you care about more than quick fixes. You care about living fully, about honoring the years you've lived while also reclaiming the strength that's still inside you. That's what this channel is about. We don't just chase symptoms, we reveal root causes. We don't just talk about pills, we explore natural restoration. So if this spoke to you, take a moment now, subscribe, share this with a friend who may need to hear it, and know this, your body is still listening. It's waiting for the right invitation. Tomorrow morning, give it that invitation. With a warm, nourishing choice, you might just wake up to find not only your energy returning, but your very sense of self rising once again.